I don't know if I can use that anymore.
Do you not? You need a rim shot if you're gonna do jokes like that. All right, there you go.
It's a show by Chris and Neil with all great movies. They are the real deal. We watch them all, so you don't have to. It's movies that don't suck and some that do.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, listeners of all ages, welcome to a new episode of Movies Don't Suck and Some Do. My name is Neil.
And I'm Chris.
I'm Mark.
Mark! There we go. Our special guest of the day, Mr. Mark Radulich from the wonderful world of W2Mnet.com. Gosh, I can't say words today. I'm gonna hit my head against the wall. That's it. I'm done. I quit this world. Today we're talking about two movies that we all love out there in the wonderful movie universe, because that's what we do. We watch movies. I think each one of us would have a DVD collection of over like 10,000 DVDs if streaming didn't exist.
And I didn't move 3 times and have to sell all my DVDs.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
That show's hard.
Oh, yeah.
But the first movie we're talking about is The Three-Way Without a Three-Way. Yep, that's it. Challengers. Featuring the one and only Zendaya.
Wait, are you in the play?
What play?
Lexi's play.
What do you mean Lexi's play?
The play that Lexi wrote.
Oklahoma. What?
The play's called Oklahoma.
No, the drama club's doing Oklahoma. Oh my god, do I look like I'm in Oklahoma?
Why would your play be set in Oklahoma?
You thought I was auditioning for Oklahoma.
I haven't read it, so...
Are you making fun of me, or did you actually think I was auditioning for Oklahoma?
Why the fuck would you audition for Oklahoma?
I'm not.
Then why the fuck do you look like you're auditioning for Oklahoma?
Do I?
Yes.
Has everyone read Oklahoma but me?
Oklahoma's not like a play you read.
Bro, are you on drugs?
Yes.
You relapsed?
I've just been smoking a little bit of weed.
To me, that's relapsing still. But yeah, that's from Euphoria. Yeah.
Definitely Euphoria. I mean, what else are you going to get her from? You can't do Spider-Man every single time she does a movie. I mean, and Dune, she says like 5 words, like never in a row.
Okay.
I don't know that Dune 2. I think there's a couple of speeches she gives to fucking him where she's gonna nag life to use one of those.
I know. I was listening to him and I was like, I don't know if I want to make sense. But also in this movie is Mike Fast as well.
So is this the shot heard round the world, or just, more of your bullshit?
Ask me about shooting, pal. You're the one with the gun.
That's right. And who are you? Friend or foe?
You're out of control.
Hey, I don't need it if you stand with us. Here, take it. Come on, it'll be safe with you. And you pitch in.
I want to talk to you.
I'm doing the talking.
Let's do it!
Woo!
Or what's that story?
Because when you're a jet all the way to your first cigarette to your last dying day.
This dude could look more English from the U.S. though. I was sure he was an English actor. He's from Columbus. All right. Anyway.
Ohio?
Yeah.
Really? Columbus,
Yeah.
Ohio?
Yeah, it's
Man,
pretty
that
much
place kind of. I went through there as a kid. But also in this movie is Josh O'Connor.
And the tongue twisters are my favorite. To sit in solemn silence in a dull, dark dock, in a pestilential prison with a lifelong lock, awaiting the sensation of a short, sharp shock from a cheap and chippy chopper on a big black block. A tutor who tutored the flute tried to teach 2 young tutors to toot. Said the two to the tutor, is it harder to toot or to teach 2 young tutors to toot? What to do to die today at a minute or 2 to 2? A thing distinctly hard to say, but a harder thing to do. For they'll beat it at 2 at 2 today, a rat-a-tat-tat to 2, and the dragon will come when he hears the drum at a minute or 2 at 2 today, at a minute or 2 today.
Okay, so that's from The Queen, right?
That's from The Crown.
Okay,
and
whatever.
That's him
Same
playing
thing to me.
Prince Charles. I mean, I feel like I got their 3 main freaking parts they played in that life.
Oh God, that's him, isn't it?
Yeah.
It took me a minute to realize like who that actor was. Now that you played that clip.
See, and that's. But that movie is Challengers. We'll talk about that one because we are all huge tennis lovers here, and we're going to talk all about
That movie.
Serena Williams. I don't know who's in tennis. Is she even in tennis anymore? Like, I don't even know. Do you know one person that's in tennis right now?
Andre Agassi.
There we go. That works.
No, in tennis. It's not announcing tennis or.
Oh, you mean currently? Serena and Venus Williams.
No, doesn't Serena doesn't do it anymore. Didn't she retire a couple of years ago?
King Richard.
Oh.
Adidas.
Oh man. Also, but the movie this is the whole reason Mark's here. I know it is. He didn't want to come here to speak about Challengers. As soon as you said Mark's coming, I was like, I know, because I saw the picture online. I saw the TV glow. Now this has an all-star cast, but I just picked some of my favorites for this one. Sure. So first, let's go with the main actor, Mr. Justice O. Smith.
No, it's just Justice Smith. There's no O. Smith in there.
Why did it say O. Smith? Oh, I must have messed it up when I was typing things.
I was going to tell you to fix it, but it's Justice Smith. Here we go.
Neil, please stop doing drugs before we podcast.
Wait till we're done. No. This was way before. This was like 2 nights ago when I did.
What is that?
Silent but deadly. Apologies, my tummy's bad from all the coffee.
No, ew, get off. I meant that.
Oh! Ooh, that. It's a Mr. Mime. They're the worst. Silent but annoying.
Does he recognize you? I think he recognizes you.
Well, I was Harry's partner, so I would have been with him.
Harry's informant is a Pokemon.
Get him!
He's barely moving.
Don't tell him that. Oh, he's on a bike. Come on, he thinks he's getting away. Look, quick. Get in front of him. Cut him off. You can make it.
Stop.
Oh, no. He's going down hard, Tim. Should have worn a helmet. I hope he makes it.
Come on, this is ridiculous.
So that's from the cinematic masterpiece known as Detective Pikachu.
You know, it's
Detective Pikachu. I love that movie.
The irony of that clip is that, Ryan Reynolds was the most perfectly casted person for Deadpool, and Justice Smith was the most perfectly casted person for an asexual. Like, nailed it.
Nailed it. We'll talk about that here in a little bit. Also in this movie is Bridgette Lundy-Paine.
You know what, Dwayne? You are an asshole. It is shocking you have kids this great. And if Evan doesn't want to go to college, that is his decision. That's not yours, it's not mine, it's his. You know, you lost the right to say shit the moment you walked out the door and didn't come back or call for what, 18 months? 18 months? You jerk. Thank you for the hospitality. You seem sweet.
That's from what, dude? I didn't look.
What is that from?
I don't know, man. You made it. You got it.
You don't know what that's from? Seriously?
I'm with you. Yeah.
That's from Atypical. It was like one of the best series ever on Netflix. Like, you didn't watch that movie?
I didn't know.
It had opinion about how treating people in this world is all about, and it makes you laugh and cry.
I bet.
And you just didn't even care. You didn't even care. You didn't care.
Who else
Also in this movie. Also in this movie is Danny Tamborelli and Michael C. Morona. Also known as
the international
Pete.
In other news,
Pete.
the international adult conspiracy has struck again.
Wart had everything you'd want from a radio station. Everything but music. Music just wasn't important to Pete. Every so often, somebody would call in with a request.
Wart.
Hey, dude, can you play Marmalade Cream? It's my favorite song.
And he would always say the same thing.
Get a life, jerkweed.
He had a favorite smell and a favorite star and a favorite internal organ. But what he didn't have was a favorite song. He just never cared enough to find one he could call his own. But as he was about to find out, sometimes you don't find a favorite song. Sometimes it finds you.
Yeah, from the Adventures of Pete and Pete. The great Adventures of Pete and Pete.
I love Pete and Pete. And then the best thing about this movie,
because
it's in the 90s, they bring the greatest rock star from the 90s and let him act in this movie.
Kid Rock's in this?
The only... No, Kid Rock's a piece of shit. Fred Durst!
Bar with the bar with dang.
I gave you exactly how many seconds you're legally to play without copywriting. Anyway, it's like I work in radio or something.
I should just miss it's that. But, okay.
But anyway, the movie's called I Saw the TV Glow. I was gonna say Pete. I don't know why I was gonna call you Pete. Now I just want to say Pete and Pete the whole entire show. Anyway, Chris, tell everybody where we're at.
You find us online, moviesdon'tsuck.net. We're at w2mnet.com. That's w2mnet. You can find us there along with a bunch of other podcasts that are badass, like Mark's. We're also on Patreon, patreon.com/moviesdon'tsuck. We're Facebook, facebook.com/moviesdon'tsuck. We're at Twitter, MTS Podcast, Instagram, MTS Podcast. We're on Bonfire, bonfire.com, search Movies Don't Suck and something to do. You'll find stuff like shirts with our name on it and faces and stuff like that. And where you find podcasts on Movies Don't Suck and something to do. You guys want to subscribe, like, do all that shit. We're all good. And I think, we have a TikTok. I think it's just Movies Don't Suck.
Yes.
Okay.
I every time I do a video from when I've been with you guys, I tag your TikTok.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, we need to do more on TikTok. I think maybe I need to start doing where I just once or twice a day I just go through all the social medias and do something.
Okay. Sounds
you
good.
know, it's funny. They're allowing now up to 30 minutes. Like you could legit put like half your podcast on TikTok.
Oh, shit, I didn't know that.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, it's like
man, we should. But we only like 10 minutes is probably like all we need because like
I'm going to tell you right now. I've been doing 10-minute clips for a while. I average between 200 and 300. Sometimes a little bit more, sometimes a little less, but the average is between 200 and 300. I started putting up like north of 10 to 20-minute clips, and I think in one case I got all the way to 30, less than 100. So
wow.
The algorithm is not quite rewarding the hard work just yet.
Damn it. No hard work. So 90-second clips. That's it. That's all you get, fuckers.
22 seconds, Neil. That's all you need.
Who are we talking about today? Who are we talking about today?
Today, we're going to talk about Chris's favorite place. You know why? Because Chris likes nothing more in this world than have some big old meat in his mouth. That's right. Chris likes it when you stick 6 inches down the back of his throat.
Will you calm down?
Because he sent pictures to me this week of a place called... Yep, that's right. The Wiener Kitchen.
It's so good.
The Wiener Kitchen makes their meat directly just so you. So if you want to throw a party with a lot of meat going down your mouth, they would love for you to taste their meat. They make all kinds of special.
Please tell me this is a paid ad.
This is not. I'm just doing this because he told me he wanted the Wiener check. So I'm doing it. But if you notice, you can have a nice Italian in your mouth, sausage. You can easily.
God,
oh man, if you like old meat, they got some old meat. They got some dry age right there for you. And they even got the wiener. They got the wiener wagon that they take out everywhere. But it looks beautiful. Like these dogs look great. Oh, look at that! You can get
some pretty meat.
That is some pretty meat. Look at it. It's pretty long too, and it looks.
Oh
like
my god! Did you see the sign that said tube steak, Neil?
Oh, dude, the tube steaks are great. No, there's even more. They got a whole list of everything right here, like from the Kansas City area. They are the wonderful. They've been here. Like in their own words, they craft their own sausages to give you an unexceptional experience that blast in your mouth that you won't want to find any other meat meal in you. We use our favorite ingredients to make the great tasting sausages. Fans of the Kansas City Chiefs definitely will love our meat in their mouth. Love the taste of the Boulevard beer down our throats with our lovely meat.
I fucking hope that that's from the website. I really don't want to get.
It is from their website.
So two things.
Why do you think I went all in on this, bro?
Who doesn't like to have big meat explode in their mouth? Number one. Number two, Chris, I have a very important question for you.
Sure.
Not the silly sexual innuendo stuff. Did you mail me any?
I didn't know.
fuck. Why do
Look
I
at
even
these
come on
guys.
this
Okay,
podcast?
if you don't think that's not, there's the husband and wife winning the 9 years in a row Wiener Award. They are the best wiener in KC for the
I don't want to tell
9 years.
real quick. That guy, he asked. I was wearing this hat when I went in there, and 5 minutes after I sat down, he had us on his Instagram. So,
Nice.
It's all about a husband and wife
Yeah,
sharing
let's
someone
play.
else's meat.
Stuffed sausages and the cabbage rolls. I mean, they got everything. Look at it. Look. They beer into the. Oh man, everything they make looks 100% amazeballs. I mean, like look at this. The Pig Mac attack, the Wedgewurst. I mean, they're in on the joke. Believe me. So if you want to get their meat, their wieners in your mouth, all you got to do is go to 9645 West 87th Street, Overland Park, Kansas, or you can go to their website and actually order some from there. And that is the Wiener Wagon on kc.com or Wiener Kitchen, which will direct you right away, or Wiener Kitchen on Facebook. Believe me, they just want you to taste their meat and just have the same explosion love that they do.
did you guys have the lead singer of Sundance lives in Overland Park?
Yeah, I know LJ lives there. Yeah, I know it was funny because I ran into him after years of seeing him in Chicago. This is really funny. When he moved there, I just moved to Kansas City, and I ran into him at the first show he did because my friend Yates worked at the radio store, and I was like, LJ. And he's like, oh, man, what are you doing here? I go, you followed me here, dude. You keep following me everywhere. Stop it. I'm sure he's going to be living in Tulsa in the next couple weeks. Like, it's about 5 years.
But, you know what, guys? I think I'm ready to talk movies. You guys ready to talk movies? Mark, you ready to talk about movies?
Quite so, yes.
Okay. Let's talk challenges. Directed by Luca Guadagino. He directed, you guys remember Call Me By Your Name from 2017, the Oscar nominated, and Bones and All, and Suspiria, the new Suspiria. This stars Zendaya as Tashi Donaldson.
Wait, are you in the play?
Mike Faist is Art Donaldson.
So is this the shot heard round the world? Or?
Josh O'Connor plays Patrick Zweig.
And the tongue twisters are my favorite.
Also, this stars other people that don't really matter, but why don't you go ahead and read the storyline for challengers?
From visionary filmmaker, oh man, I knew they were going to make me say his name. Luca, what's that?
Oh my God.
I got it. From visionary filmmaker Luca Guadagino, Challenger stars Zendaya as Tasha Duncan, a former tennis prodigy turned coach and a force of nature who makes no apologies for her game on and off of the court. Married to a champion on a losing streak, Tasha's strategy for her husband's redemption takes a surprising turn when he must face off against the washed-up Patrick, his former best friend and Tasha's former boyfriend. As their past and presents collide and tensions run high, Tasha must ask herself, what will it cost to win?
Okay, so
I have thoughts.
We have thoughts.
Oh yeah, please. Let's have all the thoughts.
So before people like really talk about how great Zendaya is she plays the shittiest person on the planet in this movie.
Yeah, I was gonna say Zendaya might be every girl I've ever known. She's awful. But here's what I want to say before this goes any further. I need to talk about this.
Okay.
So I grew up. Neil and I are around the same age. Chris, you're 10 years younger than I think the both of us.
I'm 30. Is that almost 38 in June? So
I will be 48 in a week.
Okay.
I'm 29.
I grew up in the age of Porky's, Blame It on Rio, The Flamingo Kid, Joysticks, Ski School, Hamburger the movie, Hot Dog the movie, 10. Okay, I grew up in the age of the hot body movie, right? I have seen sex on screen, not porn. We are just talking from PG even in because PG.
Fast Times at Ridgemont High, freaking. Yeah. I mean, you can just list them.
Yeah, the PG in the 80s was not the PG we know today. But everything from PG to R, I've been watching these movies since I was 5. I know sex when I see it on screen. I know steamy. I know horny. I know these things. I have seen these things. This was described as the horniest movie of this year, number one. Number two, this was described as steamy, sultry. What kind of asexual hellscape am I living in that this passes as those things? Have we forgotten in this country, in this culture, what sex is? Which is weird because we have the internet and can see people shoving wine bottles up their hoo-ha. I don't understand.
Let me dine into this for just a second because I actually made a physical representation of how hot and steamy this movie is. All right. Here's the picture everybody saw. Everybody's like, oh, it's going to be a threesome. There's, she kisses that guy.
Yeah.
She kisses that guy. Oh, they're two kissing them. Oh, she leans back.
Yeah.
That's it. That's all of it. That is all the steaminess in the entire fucking movie. That's it. It was a movie that was sold to people as, here's a threesome. You're going to see a threesome.
The nudity we got was...
I see more at a bar, like, late night than I saw on that movie.
The nudity we got were the cheesy songs of dudes in the shower, which wasn't sexy at all. That's the only nudity we got.
There was a lot of lip sweaty next to the movie.
And then Buddy just going off his dong to his buddy the whole time, like, look at this, see that? Yeah,
don't get me wrong. Don't get me wrong. That is probably the most realistic threesome I've ever seen. Sure. A girl gets kissed by two guys, then fucks off and leaves them there like blue balls. Accurate. I mean, raise your hand if you've had that happen to you. Okay,
but I do want to say a few. There are two things I like about this movie. I'm just going to go through the one. One, the music by Trent Reznor and Atticus Ross. Fucking yes, I love the music in this thing. There are also some crazy Wes Anderson looking shots that I don't know where they came from. Like you know what I'm talking about? Like
the churro scene.
Yeah.
That fucking churro. Like, wow, how did that get mad? Get these dailies. Watch a long take of him buying churros and then like just nestle himself in all cuddly at the bar. And I'm like, what the fuck am I watching here? If these two don't fuck the churros, I don't know why they did this.
Okay. Now this is not like you were saying, it was not a horny movie at all. Not a horny. I was thinking like how I mean it wasn't like no point was I even close to remotely turned on, and not like and I have a friend who was like, how gay is? I'm like, it's kind of, I mean, whatever, it's what it is.
I was gonna say that's the thing, Chris, in all honesty, like without like doing a bit now.
Yeah.
If you're up for kind of like a quasi-gay, quasi-bi love story between two guys, Challengers actually works.
Yeah.
If you're looking at this, like, I want to see a hot, steamy love triangle with a threesome, I want my money back. Because it's none of those things. None.
Yeah.
It's weird that there was so much sexual tension between the guys. Like that was hard and throbbing. The sexual tension between the three of them was like
none.
Dude, it was like two guys fucking an ice cube.
I don't understand. Like, it was people were saying Zendaya is hot because I couldn't stand her the whole fucking movie. She's an awful person. You know, like
I know somebody who does not think Zendaya is physically attractive.
Because, you know, as much as my entire existence until I met my wife at the age of 30, most women treated me like shit and walked over me, and I loved it. So that was kind of
no. Her character might be the most realistic woman I've ever seen written. Now, maybe that comes from a place of bitterness or reality. You decide. I'm not going to tell you what you should think.
But like, you know what? You know, Mark, one second before you go all the way into this, I just want to make sure that we prove this point, because the other week you asked me to make a shirt. I made a shirt, and it fucking fits us perfect. You can go get this on bonfire.com, MTDS podcast, and that is the, once again, promise a threesome I didn't get. And I think that is the perfect explanation.
It is my birthday, June 2nd.
Okay.
It is my birthday, June 2nd. If someone sends me that shirt, I will wear it on the air.
I'll see if I can do. I can see because usually it's like 8 days on a Sunday.
That's fine.
But you know what? It's from Florida, so never mind. Maybe I can get it to you quicker because I sent it your head.
Let me get into this real quick.
Okay.
And I promise I'll shut up and let you guys talk about this movie too. But again. My problem with it is that it was sold as one thing. It's not that. It's not that at all. However, Zendaya being a shitty person and manipulating these two toaster ovens, there's a story there. There's a good story there. My problem is the way that it ends. It kind of, there's no real resolution. They kind of smash a tennis ball back and forth at each other, which is great. Like, the subtext of the final tennis match is really, really good. It's like any other like sports movie.
Oh yeah,
there has to be a story in the game, in the match, or you're just there's nothing to watch there. And they tell a great story embedded in the subtext of that tennis match. It kind of just ends, though. I don't know if you want me to give away the ending, but it kind of just ends with this like one impactful shot and Tashi yelling, "Yeah, like I saw awesome tennis," and I'm like. That resolves none of the conflict of this.
None of the conflict.
And that's my problem.
And then they go, when you bring that up to them, they're like, "Well, that was meant to be that way." Which, I mean, we have that's a valid thing to say. But again, it doesn't help the movie in itself. Like,
I'm not going to take away an artist's right to say I wanted to leave the ending ambiguous. You can't then hold me to then I like your ending or I think your ending is good. Oh God, that's a whole other story.
But so
it's funny that you paired these two up just like the last one I was on. This is like this is supposedly horny, and then like the least horny movie ever in the history of movies.
Woo woo woo.
But I will say that Mike and Josh and Zay, they all were believable characters to me. Like I thought I got who they were, even if they were all kind of shitty. Like
okay, well that's the thing. Like I literally when after watching this movie and getting research, someone said this, and I think I'm not taking credit for it, but I think it's a great phrasing of this. If we wanted to watch, do you want to watch a movie that has no toxic relationship and it's just like everybody's happy and everybody's good? No, because there's no story there. You'd get bored with that like 3 out of times. You want people that are in toxic relationships to be what you see in a movie, because without a toxic relationship, it doesn't cause any conflict or any like you're just sitting there watching, "Hey honey, did you make the meatloaf? Oh, it was good again. Thanks." Like that's all you're gonna get. And we don't want that. We want basic instinct shit. We want
yes, Neil. There is tons of dramatic tension in this movie. No doubt about that.
Yeah.
It's not the worst movie I've ever seen.
Nope.
It's way over long. It does not earn its run time. The central conflict doesn't get resolved, and the characters. Zendaya is an interesting character because she's every bitch woman I've ever known, and the guy playing. What's his name? Zweig?
I think her name was Jen.
Oh, Josh O'Connor. Yeah, Josh O'Connor's the actor.
What's his character's name?
Patrick Zweig.
Patrick. Okay. And Patrick's an interesting character because like here he is, the down on his luck ex-athlete trying to make a comeback, and trying to win back the love of his life. All of that stuff. Interesting. Art is fucking wallpaper. Art is the least interesting character in this movie, and it isn't until the final tennis match when he realizes that Zendaya cheated on him that he becomes even remotely interesting, and we are 10 minutes out from the end of that movie by the time that happens.
100%. This movie wasn't that good because they didn't give us a three-way. It was because it was just exactly they didn't resolve the conflict. They didn't, and that is the main thing about a movie. You got to at least have some kind of resolve. Even the crazy, like David Finch films, they go backwards and upside down, or all those movies still have some kind of conflict, solved at the end of the movie.
There were issues with storyline for sure, but when it comes to how this was technically executed, there are things I really like about this movie. The shots were beautiful.
Did you like? All right, I was gonna say, Chris, did you like the non-linear storytelling? Because I don't think the movie needed it, and it drove me up the fucking wall.
I didn't like that at all. Okay, but when it comes to technical things, we're talking strictly just how it looked and how it and the music and all that stuff. I thought that was done great, but the whole story itself had issues itself, and also I don't know about you, but I couldn't stand the trailer for this thing. It was when I saw the trailer, like, this is the last movie I want to see on the planet.
Then why did you make us see it, you dick? I didn't want to see this.
I forgive him. This movie, if this movie had lived up to its advertising, there's nothing to talk about here. It was, you want a horny movie? Here's a horny movie. Cool. I don't have anything to talk about.
No. This movie,
this begs. I wanted to be here. Like I initially was like, you got to bring me on to talk about I Saw the TV Globe so I can talk about asexuality. No. And now I got to be here to talk about what the fuck are we doing? Like what happened with this movie? Challengers. Like the Challengers pissed me off. And I was like, I am coming on this podcast loaded for bear to talk about this.
No. Why are we not making the movies where we all feel uncomfortable in the theater when it's packed, when there's horny sex scenes? Why can't we get that anymore?
Right. I'm right there with you, pal.
It's like, I remember going to see Basic Instinct with my mom. You know, it was weird.
If there hadn't been like full frontal dick nudity, I could have brought my kids to this in retrospect. They would have been bored to tears, and one of them might have shot themselves in the theater. But it was that sanitized.
Yeah,
I think it made itself R just to make itself rated R.
Yeah,
like you could easily edit this down and it'd be PG.
Take the dicks out. It could have been a Disney production. Honestly,
I have a legitimate question that I don't know how many people are watching right now. I think you said like
I think there's 17.
Okay, so the 17 people watching this, I swear to God, this isn't me being a pervert. I am a pervert, but that's not what's driving this next thing I'm going to say. What kind of world do we live in that your movie is rated R and we don't see Zendaya's tits? Why? What are we doing? Again, 30 years ago, her tits would have been all.
And now we're down to 4.
And that's not I want to see Zendaya's tits thing. What tits? She's like an A cup at best. I don't care. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying this is a body shaming thing or a lust thing. This is a filmmaking thing. You went for an R-rated like sex relationship story. Show tits. And I've said that about other movies too. Like where's the nudity in this thing? Why is nudity in movies now just male full frontal? Like, are we trying to make up
okay.
years?
Wait.
So one of the things I used to say,
I'm okay if there's male frontal and back or whatever.
So am I.
But like counteract everything and let's all have a
Neil,
good time.
Neil,
that's what I'm saying. Show everything.
Early in the history of her show, I'd often say to a movie that it could use some titties. No movie I can think of recently could use titties more than Challengers, honestly.
I don't know, man.
It doesn't even have to be her titties. It could have been someone else's titties.
I don't care whose tits it was. I mean,
we're not trying to be sickos, and we're not trying to be.
No, the point of it is like, because this is what I'm trying to say, and the whole reason like I wanted to talk about this with you guys was, I'm making a commentary about modern filmmaking that it's gone way asexual. Part of it is here's my moment from the other two podcasts where I go on a soapbox. Part of it is reflecting back what's happening in the culture.
Yeah, Gen Z is all about like sanitizing shit.
Right. Yeah, so my daughter is like leaning asexual at this point.
Yeah,
Again, more about that in the next film. And the thing of it is that she's not alone. She's not an aberration. Her whole like generation is now like lurching in that direction to where I would say people in like their 20s and people in their teens are shying away from anything sexual.
That's not an awful thing, but it's also kind of like
no, it's not. But it's something that needs to be called out and talked about
too.
Yeah.
I mean, kind of like society too, in general too, because like I go to a lot of bars, restaurants, concerts. You guys all know I'm a man of the town, but
come on,
I don't see a like back at like even a decade ago. You'd go out and you'd see people hooking up all the time at places and then taking off and stuff like that, and that's not very relevant anymore.
This is interesting. I think also because it's also happening in literature. Because I've been reading about recently, just books themselves and online book talk, what that shit is, but a lot of it are people like, I hate the sex scene in this, so I skip through those, or I hate this thing, and I'm like, okay, like are we acting like people don't have sex anymore?
Yeah, like sex is a natural part of the human existence. It's something I talked about when I reviewed X, the horror movie. Yeah. And
everything I wish I could say on this, I will not say on it because of what I do for a living and stuff like that. So at this point, I'm going to take myself out of the conversation and stop you guys from getting me in any trouble with my federations of any kind of jobs and say, hey guys, even though we're sitting in a hotel room having a three-way, what rating do you give this movie on a rating from 0 to 5?
3.2 to 3.2 out of 5. I like the technical things in this, and I think I liked it more than I hated it, honestly. But again, there are problems with it. But again, technically really well made. I loved Atticus Ross in terms of their score for this. There's some shots in here that I was like, how the fuck did they do that? But other than that, the acting's okay. It's just hard to like a movie that was. I went in expecting a boner and I didn't get it.
This is a mayonnaise. This is a mayonnaise sandwich that someone told me was a ham sandwich.
Damn. I like that. I'm writing that down. That's a new shirt.
So what's the scale I have to rate this on?
0 to 5.
0 to 5.
5 being good.
Yep. Thank you.
You listen to the podcast. You know we rate 0 to 5 every time.
2.5.
Okay. That's what gets us some that do tag from us. So
yeah, that's some that do. So you just gave this movie an STD.
Yeah, good. It deserves it. At least then it would be sexy. Because I don't know about you, but a good old fashioned STD party is hot. Anyway, my point. Here's what I want. The last thing, and then I'll let Neil move the show on. It's not that it's the worst movie I've ever seen. I mean, it's no Little Mermaid or anything. It's just one, the technical problems outweigh the things that were good about it. And two, this movie makes me like afraid of where this generation is going, because it's like we're having like an anti-sexual revolution. You know, the 60s was the sexual revolution. It was like a celebration of women's freedom, women's individuality through sex. And now like we're like lurching in this other direction. Half of it's angry men, and I don't know what they're angry about. You know, rejecting women who have hurt them. And the other half of it's the young people going, well, I don't want to turn out like my angry dad or my angry mom. So I'm just going to leave. And I don't want all of the bad things that come with sex, like, you know, kids and disease. So I'm just going to leave all of it behind and watch anime. And it's like, oof, I don't want to live in this Mad Max fucking hellscape.
I think more people have like get sexy time from anime these days than they do live action.
Neil, what's your score?
This is not a world I want to live in.
Neil, what's your score?
3. I'll give it a 3. Because you know, it did its job. It did, but it didn't do what. Again, I don't like the fact that it didn't give us the 3-way that we were supposed to have.
I guess
it was. And I don't mean to be sicko or anything like that. I'm just saying, like, it was very obvious that's what they're rooting on the whole time.
Oh, man,
that's the worst part about it, is that they clearly were like, come see the sexy threesome, and then they don't give it to you, and they're like, well, you're here now. How about this lukewarm fucking love triangle? And you're like, fuck you, movie.
All right,
it's like there's so many different things they could have done. Just little tweaks they could have done to make this movie 10 times better.
Well, are you interesting whatsoever?
I just hope it makes its money back so Zendaya can still do production, and so she can.
Dude, she's fucking fine. She's fine.
I know it's in the trailer, but I tell you, the scene where Art goes, "I love you," because he needs that reassurance. Like he's not feeling himself, he's not feeling this marriage anymore, and he's just like, throw me a line, anything, make me believe that you still want to be with me. And he goes, "I love you," and he wants her to give him reassurance. He wants her to make him feel loved, and she goes, "I know," and like. Like, I just wanted to dive into the movie, dude. I would have F5'd her out the fucking window.
I was like, are they trying to get people to remind yourself of Star Wars? Like, you know, like
no. They're trying to get men who look like me to punch Zendaya next time they see her. That girl better have armed security.
They made it seem like they made it seem like
crowd of men.
They were like, look at this bad bitch telling this man what's up, and I'm like, no. She's a fucking villain in this movie.
First of all, how many of us have been there? How many men, and I'm deadly serious about this, how many men have been that vulnerable, that insecure, and all they want is their woman to fix it, and the woman's like, no, fuck off.
Oh, that's so answer. It hurts me so bad when it happens. but
not like it hasn't happened a lot.
I'm around CMS.com. Neil, what is the audience score for Challengers?
It's going to be a 48%.
73%.
No, there's no way. Audience 73. Somebody paid the fucking people.
Audience says Challengers' charms might be too subtle for some, but looking for a character-driven story about attraction, there's a lot to like here. All right, what's the critic score for Challengers?
82.
89%. Yeah.
Fucking Nick.
Yeah,
I don't want to live.
Right.
I don't want to live in this world anymore.
I don't want to live on this planet. We're done.
Critics' consensus is, with its trio of outstanding performances volleying their star power back and forth without ever dropping the ball, challengers to connect in sexy rompic court. Whatever.
Oh, God.
Okay.
I hate
what?
Okay,
I don't even know what's going on in this world anymore.
Okay, so this is.
I have seen more sex appeal in a wrestling match.
Right? Like anytime Goldust wrestled.
I'll go with Goldberg.
Okay, listen to this shit. This is from. This is a good review.
That's just between him and Bret Hart.
This is from John Serber at Decider. He says, beads and beads of sweat drip from faces and down legs, off elbows, and slow-mo during riveting, intense climax that casts off a highly entertaining movie with what else but eruptive stylegasm. What the fuck, dude? And this is what...
I want to like Clockwork Orange people and make them watch Blame It on Rio. Here's a story where Michael Caine fucks a younger, a less than 18-year-old girl.
Okay,
have fun.
And this is from Casey Chong at Casey's Movie Mania. He gives it more fizzle than sizzle in this otherwise visually stylish sports drama. And that's like I said, only thing I like
All
about
right,
this
the
is the visuals.
cinematography of it. That's the only reason I gave it a 3.
The music in
that
this was
tennis ball scenes were pretty cool. I mean, it would give anybody that had any kind of epilepsy, probably seizures and you'll die. But I that was kind of cool. I think that's why I gave it such a better rating.
People, if this turned you on, if you thought this was hot and steamy, I beg of you to go watch Porky's, please. Porky's.
But I think it's time for Neil to join us about movie news.
No way, really? This is the news. Yes, the movies that don't suck in some of the news. I have to read stuff to Chris because he's Amish and doesn't know how to read a device.
I was nice to him on our show Monday.
I know he was.
By the way, I asked him
That's why I'm extra. He didn't even ask if I wanted to come along, dick. Anyway, I'm not jealous or bitter or an asshole.
I couldn't tell. I was like, "Oh, yeah, are you upset with me?" I didn't cheat on you or anything.
What was I doing Monday?
You couldn't do it for some reason.
Hanging out with the dude.
Yeah,
it was fine. Yeah, no,
Neil,
don't worry.
Neil, do you want to come on Tuesday and talk Furiosa?
We're doing Thursday on Furiosa. I don't even know if I'll have it watched by then.
Okay. Well,
I'm seeing Sunday. I'm seeing Saturday.
I would love to, but I don't. Yeah, I don't see movies on the weekend because my wife doesn't like to go to movies, and so therefore,
okay.
So therefore, that's my time with my wife, and I go watch them while she's at work.
Gotcha.
Anyway, let's talk movies. Let's talk stuff. After years and years of uncertainty, Francis Ford Coppola's Megalopolis is finally getting set for a global IMAX release, much to the delight of all the fans. IMAX CEO Richard Ginford has ensured the film's international release after studios initially deemed it unsellable, and marking a victory for Frank Floyd Coppola. So despite mixed reviews, Megalopolis is going to boost. It does boost an all-star cast. We know it's Adam Driver's in it for sure. But now this is going to... Hey, man, Adam Driver kicks ass. Don't ever diss a Hoosier.
It doesn't sell tickets worth of shit.
Yes, he does. It's called Star Wars.
Okay.
No, I'm just kidding. I know that. That's fine. But anyway, so Megalopolis finally coming to the major theaters. We're going to get it. Isn't it like 7 hours long if we remember?
I was going to say, did you not see the articles about this? About like critics are panning this and like we're laughing hysterically at it?
We're gonna see.
Yes, that's why I want to see it.
We're definitely gonna see it.
They did the same thing with Star Wars.
Yeah.
Okay.
Three such things, Star Wars. Between that and the fucking lack of sex and challenges, I'm having a hard time over here. Look, I'm gonna go see it. Like I didn't realize it had a release date yet, so I would have put it on my calendar by now. Yeah. I'm gonna see it. I don't care how much is being panned.
Yeah, I want to see it too.
But there's not a lot of hope here right now.
Yeah, I mean. And you just have to IGN.
That's why it's gonna be better than what you think it was.
Like people are just calling it frustrating. IGN give it a 9, which is not like I know it's a gaming news website, but they're calling it confounding, which to me isn't a great thing. You know what I mean? Like, it's kind of like when you listen to an album that has a story thing behind it. It's covered by an interesting story, but the album's okay. You're like it's hard to separate the story from the actual piece of art sometimes. So who knows what it really like? If we're looking at a vacuum, I wonder.
Yeah. Today, as of today, 9 a.m. today, no, 11:30 today, the great God of Thunder himself had received Star Hollywood Walk of Fame today, hosted by RDJ. Go see videos; they're funny as hell. I watched them earlier today. It's really cool. You know, anytime RDJ like gets a microphone in his hand. But it's awesome that Chris Hemsworth. I hope it was because he won because of his role in Ghostbusters. Answer the Call that he got the star because that was the best acting.
I'll see your boring story about his stupid star that I don't care about and raise you that they announced today Extraction 3, which I'm very excited about.
Oh, Extraction! Both of the Extractions are great. How about Idris Elba's in this third one, like more than a couple seconds?
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Yeah, that is what it's being sold on. Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah? Well, then I will raise you. Universal horror movies are all getting sequels. Every damn movie they made was a horror movie. In the past, 5 years, every single one of them is getting a sequel. We're getting a Freddy, Five Nights at Freddy's 2, Megan 2.0, Black Phone 2, Freddy's Night 2 will open December 5th, 2025. We have what's the other one? iPhone 2 is June 27th, 2025.
So when he said Universal Monsters, my first thought was, oh no, they're gonna make another Tom Cruise The Mummy.
I know, I was thinking that too. I remember I was he didn't listen to this, so I went. It's like last Christmas I was at my father-in-law's house where my wife was doing something. He's like, "You want to sit down and watch The Mummy?" I'm like, "The Mummy?" And he's like, "Yeah, the Tom Cruise one." I was like, "Okay," and it was that one. I was like, "God, it's fucking awful." I didn't tell him that.
Yeah,
but he
it's awful and it made no money.
But anyway, so Friday night, Five Nights at Freddy's Part 2 comes out in December. We get Black Phone, which is
unnecessary.
Black Phone 2, which is June 27th, 2025. Megan 2.0 is May 16th, 2025.
Also unnecessary.
That is very necessary.
No, it is not.
Calm down.
Calm down. But also, we're going to get a sequel to The Woman in the Yard, Happy Death Day. Also, we are getting, what other sequels? Freaky, we're getting a sequel to Freaky. We're getting I told you, every horror movie they did in the last 5-10 years is
the only movies they're the only movies that made money.
That's why they're doing it. Plus, they're also doing another Insidious. I Know What You Did Last Summer. 28 years later, of course, that trilogy is all part. So, literally, every movie that you kind of liked the last 5-6 years, even 10 years ago, they're all getting sequels.
This is why the children
have an original bone in our fucking body.
This is why the children are retreating to TikTok and YouTube.
Yeah.
This is when we're gone, that's the end of the movies. Bye. We're done.
Also, so now the wonderful people at Sony, Tom Rothman has given the go-ahead that they are moving much faster on the new Spider-Verse and the new Tom Holland movie. They said, let me tell you, when the last of Spider-Verse movies come with Phil Lord and Chris Miller, it's going to be a very big, significant event, as well as we are very well into the pre-production of the next Tom Holland Spider-Man film.
Dude,
cool.
Yeah, whatever. I mean, it's just okay. So I'm going to sound mean about this, but I don't care. I got tired of this stuff a long time ago. But when I know they're trying to make it a giant ass event, and I'll be there because it's a video podcast.
So you don't want to support movies and giant events?
No. I'm not saying that.
Movies?
I'm not saying I support movies, but
on a
not
movie podcast.
No, I want to support me.
I'm trying to understand your logic here. Why you would say something like that on a movie podcast? I just don't support movie things.
No, I don't support this.
I guess movie things suck.
When he's done gaslighting you, Chris, go ahead and talk.
Neil, will you calm down? You know, I'm just like I've had an assful of that sort of thing. Like I guess it's cool that we're going to do Spider-Man movie, but like it just doesn't excite me. You know what I mean?
All right, cool. Stop your negativity, or we're going to have a downer, and we're going to have less viewers than we have. Negativity is not
really. My rant on sex and movies didn't scare everyone off.
No, we got more actually.
There's a fat incel yelling about sex and movies. Come quick.
quick. All right, Oscar Isaac will be playing.
Who the fuck? Isaac Asimov.
Yeah.
Oscar Isaac, sir.
There you go.
As you know him as Poe from the Star Wars movies. He will be playing the King of Kings himself, Jesus Christ, in a new movie. That's going to help his career. The still cast of the King of Kings
the Passion of the Christ too?
Foster Whitaker, King of the Throne, and Uma Thurman are already attached to it as well.
Please tell me it's being directed by Quentin Tarantino.
I don't know, man. It does not say that here.
Still passionate.
the passion of the feet.
Yeah.
Forrest Whitaker's going to play Peter. That's going to piss off some conservatives. This is the storytelling by Charles Dickens, by the way.
Oh, super.
Okay.
Nice. So we're going to figure out. Has anybody heard about Scarlett Johansson suing ChatGPT?
Okay.
Is there anyone in the recent history who Scarlett Johansson hasn't sued?
No, but that's how you make money. But they said they weren't going to use her voice. They tried to get her to be the voice of the new voice chat, and she said no, 100% no, and they got an actress that sounds exactly like
because
her.
they basically wanted to be like, this is a tie into her. You know what I mean? Like that's what they want.
That is so 2024.
I know.
Like, hey, we would like to legitimately pay you for this project. Well, I don't want to do it. That's fine. We'll find artificial intelligence ways of getting it done. Deep fake, baby.
You know what? That's why you got to sue. Pirates of the Caribbean. Both movies right now are in pre-production in Florida with Margot Robbie.
Who also isn't a draw.
Mark,
shit.
Mark, I was about to put the gun in my mouth too.
You shoot me, I'll shoot you. Okay.
Because we don't need those anymore. They're done.
Two people that watch movies that hate movies more than two people.
No, I think
there are more than just shit Pirates of the Caribbean movies out there.
There's more than that.
We're going to talk about Ice on the TV Glow some year. Jesus.
I mean, the best IP we got in the recent memory is King of the Planet of the Apes, which is a great IP. Like that movie, I can't wait for that. I'm excited for the next one.
It was good too.
What was
Doom? Good.
Yeah, Doom was great. Doom was great.
Hey, Sebastian Stan's new movie, where he portrays a billionaire named Donald Trump, is being criticized by none other than Donald Trump.
Oh,
he was very upset that they portrayed his biopic for him to be a racist and a rapist.
Does he carve up women and sell them to cannibals? Because that's really all I wanted to discuss in Stanley.
Oh, Fresh. That was a great movie. I think we all rated.
I never stopped talking about Fresh.
Oh, Fresh is great.
Fresh is me. Hugh Jackman is going to be playing Robin Hood in the Death of Robin Hood movie, where Robin Hood dies. That movie has now just been picked up by none other than A24.
So my kids were hilarious at the end of I Saw the TV Glow. My daughter goes, "It's amazing that one studio traumatized us both, and it took two movies to do it." she was like, "I was traumatized by Civil War." And we'll talk about it in a few minutes. But my poor son at the end of I Saw the TV Glow was like, "Oh my God, this was a mistake. I shouldn't have come here." Congratulations, A24.
Oh my God. Rupert Friend is now joined the cast of the new Jurassic Park movie with Scarlett Johansson.
Ugh.
Margot Robbie is already in pre-production with her new movie, The Sims.
She doesn't sell tickets.
She sold a lot of tickets.
No, she doesn't.
Did?
No. Hi. Me and I know. So Chris can't fight this fight because he's a communist and doesn't believe in money.
That's true.
But Robert Winfrey does. Okay. And Robert Winfrey and I, in our review of Babylon, went through her entire filmography. She either only is part of the largesse of an ensemble cast that's drawing money because of the IP. Not since I, Tonya, has that woman drawn a dime toward any movie that wasn't an ensemble.
But do you think Barbie may have broken that curse on her?
No.
Barbie that's still an ensemble. That's an ensemble.
It's not only an ensemble, but it's also an outlier. Barbie tapped into something that very films do. That's why it did as well as it did. And because it was Barbie, so it's one of the few girl IPs made for girls that got it, that was interesting enough for girls to celebrate it. It is the most outlier of outliers.
Okay.
But go back through her IMDb and look at how much money her films have made that she started with. She was the headliner, and it wasn't an ensemble or a major IP movie. The girl is the Adam Driver of modern movies. She is ticket sale death.
We'll see what happens, man. I mean, it's possible that, I don't know. Like you said, I don't care about money. I'm a communist, so.
Not caring about money. Guess what the next thing's about? The last story of the day is one movie of this summer has broken the all-time record for pre-sales in a single day with over $9 million bought in tickets for the first day of its pre-sale. You want to guess what movie that is?
It's Deadpool and Wolverine. I saw.
Hell yeah, right out the gate. It's Deadpool and Wolverine. It's already sold $9.5 million in tickets.
I have been in a fist fight with Robert all year about this fucking movie because I love him to death, but like everything is no negative. It's never going to happen. And it's like, hype, but there's evidence to the contrary. No, everything is no.
I really hope it's
And I'm like, dude, Deadpool and Wolverine is going to be the only movie this year that makes $1 billion. I thought it was going to be like that in Dune. And Dune's not going to make $1 billion, so it's stuck in the 850s right now. And it's already on HBO Max, so it's done. Its run is done.
Yeah.
Right.
So the only other movie left this year, and have you seen the dog shit coming out between now and December? Nothing.
I can't wait to see Maxine.
Nothing.
But drama movies are big. Yeah.
I mean, Maxine looks like a good movie, and
Khrushchev.
but it's
I'm not talking about how good it is. I'm talking about how much money it's going to make. Nothing is making $1 billion.
Nothing. Not a damn thing. Not even close.
Yeah.
Right. Deadpool and Wolverine's about the only thing left this year in fucking July that's even got a shot at $1 billion.
Nothing's gonna make money like Prime. Yes, Prime. Brought to you by. Anyway, sorry, I just saw a Prime bottle on my desk. Anyway,
Beatbox brought to you. Sorry.
Large ass beers. Yes, large ass beers. Just put a beer right into your big ass mug with onto the.
Neil, is that the last? That's the last story you have news?
Yes, that's the end of the news. That was the movies that don't suck and some of them news. Chris hates movies like we just found out, and he might leave the podcast. Have a good day.
And money. Chris hates movies and money. I don't really understand it.
Movies and money is what he hates.
Let's talk. I saw the TV Glow. This is directed by. This is directed by Jane.
Let's talk about a movie that you probably hated.
Oh, that dude looks to kill.
Directed by Jane Schoembrum. This stars Justice Smith as Owen.
What is that?
Bridgette Lundy-Paine is Maddie.
You know what, Dwayne? You are an asshole.
Also stars Michael C. Morona and Tinny Tamborelli.
In other news, the international adult conspiracy has struck again.
Wart had everything you'd want from.
Also, Fred Durst is in this. And also, I will mention.
Yeah, the Nookie. What?
Yeah.
I want to mention
You're
that.
starting to break.
So, I also mention that Helena Howard's in this, plays Isabel.
Chocolate starfish
and the hot dog flavored water.
Lindsay Jordan.
Keep rolling.
What?
Keep rolling. Keep rolling.
Yo, I know y'all be loving this shit right here.
L-I-M-P.
It also stars Lindsay Jordan as Tara. Lindsay Jordan, you guys know that she was under the stage name of Snail. She put out a very good record a couple years ago. Neil, read the storyline for I Saw the TV Glow. By the way, there's no way to spoil this movie.
Teenager Owen is just trying to make it through life in the suburbs when his classmate introduces him to a mysterious late-night TV show, a version of supernatural world beneath their own in the pale glow of the television. Owen's view of reality begins to crack.
Before we talk about the writing director Jane Schoembrum, they are transgender and they go by they them pronouns. I want to make that clear before we start talking about them.
I'm gonna fuck it up. I'm just gonna put that right out there, everybody. Hey, all 19 people watching, I fuck up things like that all the time. Just gonna pre-warn. It's not an insult to them. It's just I've been smoking weed and drinking, so therefore, I'm just pre-assumption. I don't mean disrespect.
Do your
I
best,
love everybody.
They them, or so the transgenders that does influence what this movie sort of addresses in this movie. I can't believe this made the theaters like when it was done. Man, my wife liked it. I'm still on the fence if I like this or not.
Okay, I took my kids to go see it, so I said I have a quasi coming out flirting with Ace daughter, and then I have me as a 10-year-old, and I'm not. And so I give me a minute with this. So my son really wasn't that interested in seeing the movie, but he wanted to go because he was like, because I had heard the critically acclaimed, who was Whitney Seibold and William Bibiani, do their review of I Saw the TV Glow, and they gushed about it, and they were like, it's the best movie of the year. And I tend to take their criticisms pretty seriously. They're both professionals. I don't always agree with them, but I think that they're on the money usually. And so I was interested in it because they were interested in it. But I was also interested in it because my daughter was interested in it. And so I came home one night and I was like, oh my God, the critically acclaimed. I was like, Lily, we really have to go see this movie. There's stuff about it that goes directly to how you feel and how you think and how you're dealing with things right now as a 13-year-old
No,
girl.
can you stop doing that, please? Like, he's trying to tell something and you're fucking around over there, please.
I'm not even looking at him. Let me go.
No, he's doing good. Fine, don't worry.
Thank you. And so I was kind of like just gushing at the table. So my son goes, I have to go see this movie. It sounds like it's all the gay. And I'm like, all right. So she's motivated by what she saw and my description of the review of it from critically acclaimed. My son's motivated by seeing it to make fun of his sister. So off we went to the cinema to go see this movie. So a couple of things. One, I was not feeling great yesterday when we went Tuesday when we went to go see it. And at about the time that they're talking in the bar, I had to go to the bathroom. And I don't want to be gross, and I don't want to be too descriptive of what happened in this bathroom. But have you ever seen the movie Desperado?
Oh my God, bro.
Okay. If a man's brain was made of poop.
Oh my God.
So I shot
10 people.
So I shot blasted the wall. And tried to do my best to clean my shame up. And went back in and missed the entirety of whatever is seen in the series finale of The Pink Opaque. But I noticed my son is very distraught. And I'm like, are you okay? And he was like, I'll be fine. The movie ends. His face is red, puffy, and tears are streaming down his eyes. I'm like, oh my God, my poor son who just loves the violence and the boobies and everything. And I look over at my daughter and she could not have been happier. Like my mopey tween daughter was just like bright-eyed and bushy-tailed and just smile from ear to ear. And then I look back at my son, who looks like I kicked him in the dick. And I'm like, what the fuck did I miss? And this kid looks at me and goes, "Why did you kick
your son in the dick?"
This kid looked at me and was like, "Dad, just YouTube series finale, Pink Opaque." And I'm like, "You're not making any sense." And then there was a line of people behind me who continued to hit him. So, that was an airplane joke, everyone. Anyway,
I knew exactly what it was.
So then he tells me what happened, and then I had to read it on the Wikipedia page. But also, Brittany Lundy-Paine repeats the entire sequence of events because that's when I walked back in again. When I walked in, she's describing drinking the Luna juice and all of that stuff. And I'm like, okay, so you saw it, and then she had to tell you about it afterwards, and that's the part that I saw. He was like, the image of what happens in the series finale of the Pinko Pig is the most horrifying thing he's ever seen. And he had to go home and play video games to move the image out of his brain. And there was a conversation that took place about how it's okay to be uncomfortable. Movies are designed to do that, to move you out of your comfort zone, to get you to think about things, get you to feel things that you wouldn't normally feel. They're not all just supposed to be passive, mindless entertainment. Movies are an instrument for discussion and feelings, not just bullshit.
100%.
It can be bullshit, but not just bullshit. And that it's okay that you feel horrified and bad right now. That's a part of the human experience. You'll be okay. And he was. But I needed to kind of just share that story going into this review because that was my experience with this film. Because I'm kind of with Chris on, like, I love the fact that my daughter loved it and had a zillion questions. I love the fact that it fucked up my son briefly. He was like, can I go home and play Fallout? I can't. I'm so unmoved. I'm so unmoved by this movie. It's hard to talk about, and that's and so that's movies, right? Three different perspectives.
So,
because I'm going to say this. Let me jump in really quick. Talk this part. Literally, I get the idea of this movie is you can take 20 people into this movie together as a group, and all 20 people are going to have a completely different experience of what this movie made them feel or what they thought. Some people might think this movie is complete fucking utter nonsense and it make anything and doesn't make any sense across the entire spectrum. Some people will tell you this is what this meant and this is what that object meant. And
I will tell you that the director writer, they say it's about the trans experience, about coming out as trans. And I
thought it was about doing like a bunch of blow and watching David Lynch films.
No,
that's literally what I felt like this was.
It's very,
I feel like
it's very
someone
Lynch.
watched a lot of David Lynch.
It's very Lynchian in the fact of
I can make a David Lynch film.
So it's very Lynch. It's very Lynchian in the fact that it's devoid of heart. Like that, So and I like
it's devoid of an ending.
It kind of feels like if somebody tried to make a trans allegory out of a Metamorphosis story.
Yeah, but wait, I do want to mention I do like Lynch films, but but this movie, the first half it's filled with all bisexual lighting all the way, like the pink and the purple hue, which I think everyone was wanting that sort of neon thing out of it. And there are scenes in this that are great. There are scenes in this that are not so great, and then there's straight shit that's confounding to me. And I don't know, and maybe I'm just too dumb to understand a lot of it, but a lot of it just seemed like fluff. I did like the allegories and stuff from my childhood. Like there's nostalgia like that. Are You Afraid of the Dark? We sit at the fireplace at the beginning, and they have basically all that snick shit I watched growing up, which I'm the 90s kid, so I remember a bunch of this stuff.
As a trans allegory, I'm not moved by it. That doesn't mean it's bad or I'm against it or anything like that. I want your audience to understand. I'm fine with this movie's existence. It didn't touch me personally. I know it will touch other people who are trans or ace or whatever, and that's fine. You should have movies for you too, just like I have movies for me. I think what bothers me about this movie, because I've had some time to think about it now, is American Beauty. And what's the other one I watched recently? I recently rewatched my review of The Ref. These are two movies that deal with the editorializing the dissatisfaction with white suburban middle class culture. I think family and suburban culture and all of that is important and it's good, and it's and that sort of Rockefellerian way that we took post World War II was the direction this country should have taken, and I think it's something we should get back to. That's my editorial standpoint. Fight me if you want about it. However, this movie standpoint seems to be that Whitney Seibel talked about this on Critically Acclaimed, that this movie sort of takes a standpoint of those of us who grew up unwatched in the 90s took in a lot of culture in the absence of parenting and everything else. This movie is commenting back on that, going, what an empty life we've lived because of it. And I'm resistant to that argument. I grew up in the 80s. I grew up in the 90s. I took in a lot of culture. I'm not, and I don't want to keep using I statements because then this becomes about me, and it's not.
God damn it, Mark.
What? When?
Thank you
Where?
so
Why?
much.
How many ways can you die? How many
spoiled
ways
bastard.
can you lie? How many ways can you? What? Okay, sorry, that was Anthrax. Hi, Prolo. Sound
It's
white
just
noise.
one of those days where I don't want to wake up.
So
are we doing Limp Bizkit or Anthrax? What are we doing here?
So I grew up as kind of a latchkey kid, you know, like
yeah, so did I.
So but again, the people in this movie are obsessed with this thing called the Pinko Pig. We're not getting away by saying
Right.
that. But I don't have a connection to a show like that, except maybe The Simpsons.
Oh, motherfucker, seriously, how do you think I even got to doing something like this? Jesus Christ, I was such a fat-ass fuck that was just sitting in a trailer park where my mom was out driving truck or bartending bars.
Yeah.
Why do you think I watched so many movies, TV shows? Every freaking movie this movie is based off of. This is literally Are You Afraid of the Dark? Goosebumps mixed in with Erie, Indiana, with somebody watching David Lynch. They slapped it together, and that's what this fucking movie is. Because
It's funny
even
you
the
say
coloring
that.
and the cinematography of this movie, if you look at it, like seriously, it reminds me of something straight out of like, look at this stuff. It like straight up reminds me of stuff right out of fucking of the old series of like Goosebumps.
Hang on.
And stuff
Yes.
like.
I asked if I can stay up since it's the last day of school. She said she's okay till it's time.
Okay, that's fine.
Okay, bye, love you.
I love you. Sorry.
Like just the cinematography of this movie just makes me think 100% of like Goosebumps, of like the movies of this stuff. Literally, you could just tell that how this was influenced with just the colors and how the filming of it, like the lighting and the different scenes were. So I 100% have to say that I love that it's a love story to obvious that. I love that it's a love story to someone dealing with their own sexuality and their own, but I don't feel like it's a sexuality. I feel like this is more of people trying to find who they are.
It's an identity versus a sexuality. Sexuality is part of your identity. I just want to throw this in there. I am resistant to the negative criticisms of suburban culture. Like I said, that comes out in The Ref and American Beauty. I know there is stuff to criticize, but sort of the Hollywood's take that these are contemptible things in society, I think is just wrong. Number one. And I feel like that's this movie's perspective, is that, you know, suburban middle class culture is contemptible and we all have to like retreat into pop culture in order to, you know, shield ourselves from it. But I want to add this, and I want to make sure I get this out there. Not that long ago, Ronnie Adams and I of the Screaming Boy podcast and Misfits and Miscreants did a whole hour discussion on the culture of Star Wars. And one of the things that I said was, when you make Star Wars your entire identity, I'm not interested in talking to you anymore. That's because every objective criticism I have of Star Wars becomes an attack on you.
Yep. Yeah.
When you take the Pinko Pig or, you know, Star Wars or Lord of the Rings or Fallout or Last of Us or whatever, you know, the Boston Celtics, when you take anything out of a wide array of culture and make it the central core of your personality, there's nothing further to talk to you about. And I think you as a person have become an empty shell of yourself. That's all you are. And that frustrates the fuck out of me. Like, look, I love Lord of the Rings. I love a lot of things in the culture. I'm part of the nerd and geek culture. Wow. This is the one. But I can't deal with these fucking people anymore who that's all they are. Yeah. Like, that's not who I am as a person. That's just stuff I like.
Yeah, will you calm down?
Me, I would like to think you're not the shell of a person.
I'm covered in wrestling wrestling shirt, wrestling hat. I got literally all this shit behind me. And I get it. I am just a closed individual myself. I get exactly what you're talking about.
People watch this. Does he know he's insulting Neil?
Does he know? But to be honest, I just want to do a red pedal real quick to that. But the thing is, it's not just, you can love all of this.
Sure.
But don't make it 100% your, like, literally, yeah. Do I love pro wrestling? Everybody that ever listens to this or is part of this
do you ever
knows that I'm a humongous pro wrestling
Chris, that's with contempt.
But the thing is, that's not my whole personality. I can talk about anything on any platform or have conversations outside of that and not bring it all the way back to wrestling every single time.
Right.
Or
if you hear an objective criticism of wrestling, think that you're being attacked.
Yeah.
Which is really my problem.
Because oh my gosh. I get that people don't like things. I get that. I don't like things. There's things I don't like Tom Brady. He's a bitch. But But
Neil, have you ever been guilty of maybe feeling like I say something that you like that I don't like, and you feel attacked a bit?
The only time I do is when I've been too intoxicated to understand what my feelings were at the moment in time.
Okay, I'll give you an example. I'll give you an example. When you were talking about football, and I said there must be a football slice hole in my heart because I don't give a shit about football, and then you felt attacked because of that.
I felt like the whole world. I feel like you can't live in Kansas City, a place that literally you have no idea. Mark, I don't know if this is the way it is where you live, but it's not any other way in the United States. But if the Chiefs lose the next day in Kansas City, it's like everybody's relative died.
And I couldn't care less.
The entire city is depressed. I lived in Indianapolis, I've lived in Chicago, I've lived in major cities with major teams, and that's not how it is where they live.
If I keep it to 50 words or less, can I say something relative to that? Yeah. So Alexander Usyk fought Tyson Fury for the world heavyweight title, the lineal heavyweight title, the undisputed heavyweight title this past Saturday. This was my WrestleMania. This was the most. I have been waiting for this for years. I was super excited about it. I told everybody on earth I was the most annoying person ever. You would have thought this was my personality. And I'm as alone as I have felt through most of my life. I don't think I'm quite as alone as I was that Saturday night, as I had my kids around me watching it, and that was fine. But nobody was there to share the enthusiasm of this fight with me. And this is
I hate that because I'm a pro wrestling fan and watching pay-per-views for years by myself.
These are communal events.
$60 and I'm just on the couch by myself, paying for it, watching it by myself.
Well, I remember,
and that's what this TV show and this movie is is that they found two people that watch a show together,
and then because of shared communal experience.
Yeah,
look, human beings are social creatures, and when you don't have social relationship connections, it hurts you as a person. It hurts your psyche. It hurts your, it hurts your growth. It hurts your evolution. It hurts everything. We are meant to be around people. And if you find a social connection through something, a part of media, whether it be sports or a television show or a movie or whatever, that's great. It's where I think the movie spoke to me, maybe not positively, but negatively. But, is this idea of the movie feels to me like it's saying, we shouldn't connect through these things. These things carve us out, almost literally in this movie, and create empty, vacuous soul. And I was like, I don't know. There's a lot of things in this culture that have brought me great joy and have filled me as a person, and I would be bereft of happiness without them. I just am not entirely dependent on them. Like it's a fucking spectrum. Don't be overly dependent on it. Sorry, I'll be on camera. Don't be overly dependent on it, but don't be utterly absent of it either. Try to find and in all things, moderation is the point. And I feel like I came to that conclusion. The film didn't bring me there.
Yeah, there's something interesting about this movie is that, Neil said, there'd be 30 different viewpoints on it, and it's just talking about it this much. My wife liked it. Again, I think I liked the movie, but it's.
I think at this point we've been talking about this 40 minutes. I think at this point, what's your ratings, guys?
Oh, you want to get to that?
0 out of 5.
You go first.
Out of 5.
Yeah. Always out of 5. You've listened to the podcast, you asshole.
For 20 minutes, me and the girl I work with today asked each other, what units did you go see patients in today? To the point where the elder black woman from across the way screamed, "Shut up" at us. So no, I don't listen, and I don't remember. I'm sorry, what's the rating scale on this again?
0 to 5.
0 to 5, okay. Is 5 like it the most?
5 is life changing.
That's perfect. That's your perfect movie.
Okay, great. I'm gonna go. Such a dick. I'm gonna go with 3.5.
I'm with you.
Can I explain? I think I would be everything I hate about a movie critic if I didn't recognize the technical acumen, the high technical acumen in this movie. I think to ignore the fact that it is grist for a conversational mill would be stupid, and I wouldn't be doing my job here. I have to so divorce myself from my own personal feelings about this movie in order to arrive at a 3.5, though. This is me trying to be the most objective film critic I can possibly be to come to that score. Because if I was going on personal, it's one of those where, like, when we do the end of the year thing, and I'm like, there's personal enjoyment, and then there's how well this movie was made. This movie is very well made. That's how it got me to a 3.5. My personal enjoyment is why it's not a 4.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, I love that my daughter loved it. I love my daughter, and I want her to have nice things. I like the fact that even though my son was distraught, it at least moved him emotionally. Film should do that. He had a good experience, and I'll stand by that as a father. The most exciting part of this movie was shitting on the bathroom wall.
So I do want to mention mine is a 3.7. Probably I liked it more than I disliked it. I do think that this filmmaker, I want to see what they make next. Honestly, if they have a style like this, it's something worth keeping your eyes open for. And I do think it's going to provoke hopefully enough discussion about this, so people will come to see interesting things like this movie. It's not the best movie of the year. And it won't make my top 10, but it's something else.
It'll make mine, because I do think it's one of the more interestingly made movies of this year.
So far. Let's be honest.
So far.
Yeah. But I mean, there's already like Late Night with the Devil. There's already, like there's already other films I've really loved this year. So it's gonna be kind of, but. My number on this, man. Miso Wokawaka.
Come on.
I don't know, because I have some issues with this movie, and I wanted.
What are your issues?
Yeah.
I've already discussed them. I've already talked. Like I don't think there's really an ending. It's kind of like the last movie where it's kind of like, yeah, we're just gonna end.
Well, that's not that type. This is not this type of movie that needs it. I don't think.
I would also disagree with that. The conclusion, the resolution to the conclusion is that he had made the wrong choice. That he stayed in real life instead of going to the pink opaque. He chose an empty death.
No. I get that point.
Okay.
I get that point. Yeah. I get that point. Maybe I just, I don't know, man. I love David Lynch. I love the old horror shows that this is based off and stuff.
Mm-hmm. It got compared to Blue Velvet, Bond critically acclaimed.
Yeah. Oh yeah. But man, I don't think this one did it for me.
I also agree with that.
I think I'm going to go like a 3.2. Okay. Like, I love that it was trying to be what it was trying to be. I love that it was, trying to be like, question reality, question this, question that. I love that and stuff like that. But at the same time, I think it was trying too hard to be that. Like, there's so many points of it where it's like, if that choice was a little bit different, I don't want to sit here and go another hour talking about, like, exactly points here and there of why I think this and that. But it's just like, I think if they just made a couple decisions different, like, I would be more on game with this one. But I wasn't on game with this one. Okay. I like the weird shit too. I like stuff that, it's like, hey, here's something weird. You don't even know why you're fucking watching it or what this actually is. But hey, it's fucking weird.
Without me in your life, would you watch this?
Huh?
Without me in your life, would you watch this?
Oh yeah, definitely. Okay. I like weird shit. Come on. Right. You know how many times I've taken acid and watched The Shining? Okay. Come on, bro.
All right, so I'm gonna run to the now. What's the critic score for? Not the critics, the audience score for. I Saw the TV Glow.
It is going to be.
It's like a 20.
28%. Yeah,
our dumb culture.
71%.
71.
Yeah. Now, what is the critic score for? I Saw the TV Glow, Neil. You guess.
The Mean Man critics.
Like 100.
94.
84. So you tell.
Damn it! I was off by 10.
Critics and Census says, With distinctive as visual aesthetic that enhances emotionally resonant narrative, I Saw the TV Go further establishes writer director Jane Schoembrum as a rising talent, and I'm going to read a bad review and a good review. This bad review is from Chris Joyce at Movies and Munchies. While a lot of complexity of the story adds depth, the vagueness of most of it does detract in noticeable ways. Unfortunately, the ending is way too abrupt and unsatisfying, leaving the film with an uneven taste when it's all said and done. That's they give it a 2 out of 5. And here is a perfect score from Christopher Cross of Asynchronous Media. It says, simply put, I Saw the TV Go as one of the most vital films of the 21st century, as it empowers us. As it empowers us to look inside while directly confronting what means not to feel allowed to be who you are. So that's vital of 21st. Like it's.
I don't want to begrudge people, being comfortable in their own skin, but it is not the most vital thing. Identifying your sexuality and being the right gender and all of that is not the most vital thing in currently going on in the world. I mean, sure, it's up there. I'm the last person to negatively comment on people's mental health and wanting to feel right in their own body. But can we not say that it's the most important thing in the fucking world right now?
Like, at all.
That's insanity.
Is that government and people like that use all that so distract you from hey, guess what? That money thing? Don't worry about that money.
No,
let's worry about that.
I do think it's very personal.
So
I do think it's a very personal film to the filmmaker. I do applaud them for that, for making a movie that shows their experience. Sure. And
I would say what is the director's name? Jane
Schoembrum.
Schoenburn? Yeah, Jane Schoenburn should sit Lana Wachowski down and say, here's how you make a movie, you dumb bitch. But
oh damn, in your face.
Because this is like you said, it's technically well done. This is a well-made movie, and it's
if there's like a sub genre of filmmakers wanting to do genderqueer movies and all of that, go talk to this lady, because she did a fine job of it.
Oh yeah,
she kind of created a good archetype for that kind of movie. I'm not going to sit here and tell you it's the most important thing going on in the world right now. Get the fuck out of here. Whoever wrote that review needs to take a Xanax.
Christopher Cross.
Christopher Cross may need to get laid, okay? Jesus Christ.
But
and they obviously don't know that Deadpool and Wolverine's coming out.
Come on, dude.
What the fuck, guys? Come on.
But I'm glad that I saw this. Like, the more I think about it, I think the more I like it. Does that with books, and
I think it's a two-timer. It's a two-timer movie. You gotta watch it twice to figure out what the fuck you just saw, and then you can go back and review it and look at it again and be like, all right, that's what the fuck I saw.
I wish I knew more about the filmmaker before I saw it, though, because I was scratching my head a bit. But okay. But this is Neil. Neil, we're seeing next week. We're doing Furious on something else. I'm not sure exactly. Would you fucking calm down, dude?
Anyway, we can see. I don't know. What can we see? What
Furiosa. Furiosa's coming out.
Wait a minute. Doesn't Axel Foley come out this week?
No, that's like in July, dude.
Ah, damn it! I thought that was like there's something coming out this week that's on the streaming service. I can't remember. Axel Foley. Did you see the trailer today for that?
I have not.
I know you.
Oh, dude, it actually looks really fun. Yeah. It looks like it's like, oh man, all right, this is gonna be a good experience. Like, you're not gonna hate it. Not as much as like I hate my neighbor. Like I'm gonna feel that bastard and stab him.
He said on a podcast heard by lots of people.
17.
Well, hey, I'm talking Furiosa next Tuesday. That's all I'm doing next week.
Okay.
This is my birthday. Hey, ask me where I'm going for my birthday.
Smoking crack and hookers.
You're close. Clothing optional resort in Orlando. One of the rowdier ones, from what I've been told. From those who frequent the kind of pervy places I like to go to, he said on a podcast about asexuality. I have been told this particular clothing optional resort in Orlando tends to be a bit handsy, a bit rowdy, a bit fun. So that's what I'm doing for my birthday.
Well, I'm really excited to hear about it. But
I'm taking my my bitch handler, also known as my girlfriend, Jen.
Nice.
Is
she listening? Is she listening to something?
Son of a bitch! She's right behind him. He has the fucking green screen going.
No, she's not here tonight. But she heard me talk about this on a different podcast where I've now dubbed her my bitch handler, because she told me, Neil, Neil, let me talk to you for a minute, baby. She told me no more bitch. She told me no more uncurated bitches is what she told me. She was like, you'll get more bitches, but I will give you the bitches. You don't go get your own bitches. No free range bitches, only gen curated bitches.
No free range bitches.
No free range bitches. So yes, me and my bitch handler are going to spend my birthday at a clothing optional resort in Orlando getting rowdy.
Hey, Jen,
I'm looking forward to
it.
Hey,
Jen, be nice to Mark. Please.
Nice.
I'll let her know.
Okay, I think we're there. Mark, you wanna tell the people where they can find more of you?
I do. First, check me out on TikTok. I'm at Mark Radulich on TikTok. That's my first and last name, people. I put 10 to now 30-minute clips of my podcasts that we do over on W2Mnet.com on my TikTok. So if you can't stand to listen to a podcast for 1 to 2 hours and you just want to hear the hot shit, check out my TikTok. That's where all my hot shit is. Also, clips of me doing karaoke with my kids, clips of me doing naked karaoke, and my son doing comedy, my daughter singing in choir, all the fun stuff. Sing-alongs at concerts that I go to, concert footage that I went to. I was at Welcome to Rockville a few weeks ago, and I got concert footage of Orgy and Biohazard. I was within licking distance of Evan Seinfeld. It was fantastic.
Nice.
Clutch, who did Binge and Purge live for the first time since I was in high school 100 years ago.
Nice.
Crowbot, which everyone should listen to because they're amazing. So yeah, check out my TikTok at Mark Radulich on TikTok. But if you actually want to listen to my podcast, it is the Radulich and Broadcasting Network on any podcatcher you find. However, if you're looking for the video because you like all of this, you want all of this, you want to see it in your face hole, then it's then we are W2Mnet.com or W2M Network on YouTube. We are W2M Network on Twitch. I'm done talking now.
All right, you can find this podcast at moviesunset.net or at facebook.com/podcast. You can find us at W2Mnet.com. It's number 2, immoviesnet.com. You'll find us there along with Mark stuff like you just said. We're also on YouTube. Just search our name, Movies Unsuck Podcast. You'll find us there. Twitter at NTS Podcast, Instagram at NTS Podcast, Patreon.com/Movies Unsuck. Bonfire, search our Movies Unsuck and send it to you. You'll find the shirt like the one Neil made, the threesome thing.
The threesome thing?
Yeah.
The threesome thing.
So,
Here, let me show it to you
go ahead.
one more time. So, there you go.
Yeah, there we go.
Chris is like, this podcast got weirdly sexual in a way I'm not comfortable with.
Once again, promise threesome.
That's what I said last night.
So, and then you guys subscribe, do all that shit wherever you find podcasts. Neil, what do you do for small business?
If you got a small business, call us up, give us an email, smack Chris on the ass. We don't care. We want your information. We want to know what you're in for, where you are, who you are, and we want to put that information out to our thousands of listeners and millions of followers right here at Movies Don't Suck and Some Do.
You guys ready out here? I think I'm ready.
Yeah. That's another episode of Movies Don't Suck and Some Do. My name's Neil.
And I'm Chris, and
I'm Mark.
Yeah.
Remember, guys, no matter how hard you try in this life, you have all kinds of challenges in the world. You can see the glow of the TV, but you can call me Anakin because I'll be slaying some younglings in just a moment. You have a good night.